time, so you want you to push it?
Go ahead, you can push it. Here we are. We are at DevNexus, live from the Night Hacking stage. DevNexus is taking place in Atlanta this week. My name's Heather Van Kira, and our first interview of the day and of the conference is Kim Creighton.
Welcome. Hello,
Welcome,
hello.
Kim.
Hello.
Why don't you tell us a little, we got an audience cheering for Kim.
Well, thank you.
Nice to have you here. Nice to
be
see
here.
you again. This
Yes.
is my second year
Yes,
here
yes,
at
yes.
DevNexus.
Saw you. You spoke at the Women Who Code reception breakfast last year. So
Yes.
it's great to be invited to speak this year.
Yes, it's great to see you here.
Yes.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
All right, I am an educator by trade. I jumped ship and decided to go into technology because it was something I've always been interested in, but never saw myself as a producer, but just a consumer.
Okay.
And I figured, why not try it? So August 2014, my father passed away. And as an only child, that was like the biggest fear I ever had of dealing with a deaf little parent. And so after going through that, I said, screw this. I'm done. I've gone through what I thought would be the worst thing. So let me try this technology thing. And so I went away to Maui for a week. And I sent back a text to my family and friends and said, I'm going into tech. And I actually put it in quotes. I said, when I figure out what it is, exactly. When I figure out what it is, I'll let you know. Because at that point, I did not know what I wanted to do. And so I spent several months just going to conferences, figuring out what this thing was. I actually went to Connect JS conference and didn't even know what JavaScript was. I was just there, just soaking it in. And after a few months, I realized that I need to learn to speak the language. And everybody kept saying how easy it was. And so to code. And so what I realized that no, coding is hard. It's just really hard. And we need to stop telling people who are coming into code how easy it is. So being an educator, I just picked up on my natural talent. And what I do now is introduce people to code and also develop strategies and best practices for teaching people how to code.
All right, that sounds really interesting. And you're actually a speaker here
Yes.
this week.
Yes.
Your session is today.
Yes.
So for everyone who's here at DevNexus, they can come hear you in your talk at
Yes,
5:30.
at 5:30.
And your session is actually about mentoring.
Yes,
right?
overcoming the challenges of mentoring. A lot of people becoming a work-ready developer requires more than finishing a boot camp, finishing an online course. It requires somebody who has walked this path to help you become a developer. As I tell people all the time, this tech thing is like the wild, wild west. There is no direct path. If you want to be a doctor, you want to be a lawyer, you even want to be a nurse or teacher, there are certain things that you need to do that everybody does. This, you can wake up the next day and say, I'm going to learn how to code, I'm going to go into tech, and it's accepted. And so we need people who've taken this journey before us to help newbies go over what I call the Grand Canyon of it's just a huge crevasse of finishing a course and being junior dev ready. So I am very passionate about bringing in developers or mentors. I have a website called juniordevmentoring.com. I have a Slack channel that I created recently, and it has over 200 people on there already, and it's only 2 weeks old, helping build relationships for mentoring in the community. And also I'm doing the 1,000 Intros to Code campaign. So by my 50th birthday in 2 years, I want to have the community have introduced 100,000 new people to technology.
Wow, that's an ambitious goal.
Yeah.
Very impressive. So you're focusing in your mentoring on the technical skills?
On helping create, on making sure people are dev ready, are developer
So from
ready.
going from completing a course to getting your first job
And then a
and
year into
transitioning
it.
the technical skills.
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly.
All right.
Because when you're learning coding, let's say you're learning coding, people get caught up in what language to learn, what stack to learn, what framework to learn, what this to learn, what text editor to use. When should I stop Googling and ask for help? Is this even relevant to solving my problem? Because bottom line, I tell developers, people new to coding, you're being hired to solve problems. All that other stuff are
Right.
tools. And if you don't know how to solve the problem with the effective tool, how do you learn that? Because there is no, people could get CS degrees and don't know how to code. So there is no one way to get here. And so with the help of senior developers, taking someone by the hand and saying, hey, you're spending too much time on that. Hey, you need to be working on this. Oh, you say you want to be a web developer. These are the things you need to know. And so my session, I actually break it down, explaining what mentoring is not, and how mentors and mentees can build relationships. Because mentoring is built on relationships. And that's why I started the Slack group, because it gives people an opportunity to get to know each other before they make a commitment to mentor somebody.
Okay. So your session is both for mentors and for
Yes,
mentees.
both.
So you can get
Yes.
something out of your session
Yes.
either way.
Mm-hmm.
And then do you offer any kind of matchmaking for
Yes,
the mentors and
yes.
the mentees,
We
matching
do,
them up together?
We do, and in this session, I'll probably do more than one activity because it's a longer. I've done this presentation from as small as 5 minutes to as long as an hour and a half. So I add activities to it, but yeah, it's about matching people. So I actually would like to match people while I'm here.
Okay.
So I'm still trying to figure out how I'll set up the presentation as audience-wise. But yeah, when I was at, it was November, this past November, there are people who actually got matched up right there.
Very cool.
Yeah,
So you could
yeah.
come away from your session with a mentor.
Yes.
Or with a mentee. If
Yes,
you're looking
exactly,
to mentor
exactly,
someone. All right, well, that sounds awesome.
Exactly.
Also, I just wanted to ask you briefly about the conference that you told me about earlier this morning when we talked at the breakfast. You were talking about the conference that your group, Atlanta Women Who Code, Women Who
yes.
Code Atlanta, is launching in a
And
conference
we're doing
in
the
June.
We Rise conference, the first Women Who Code conference in the Southeast.
Okay.
And so actually this Saturday I will be leading we're doing a 3-part speaker series, helping people develop an idea, create a proposal, and start submitting. Because women voices are needed at conferences, and people are really, conference organizers are actively seeking women to speak on conferences. And a lot of people don't think they either have something to say, or a lot of people are afraid of speaking in public, so we're addressing that. So yes.
All right, so conference call for papers is open now,
Yes,
though,
until
for the
March
conference.
30th.
All right, so if you want to
Yes.
come back to Atlanta, speak at Atlanta.
Exactly, and we're paying for travel, and so there's financial aid available.
Okay, so
Yes.
it's werise.org.
.org. Well, you know,
WeRise?
this is live, and I don't want to give you the wrong thing. So if you can look up Women Who Code Atlanta,
Yes.
and the conference is Rerise, and it's also on papercall.io.
Okay, that's
so,
a
yeah,
great place
it's-
to find the open call
Exactly.
for papers.
Exactly.
All right, I use that often.
Yes, I do too. Yes,
All right.
yes.
Well, I really enjoyed learning
Well,
more
thank
about
you.
what you're going to speak about here
Thank you for
in
having me.
Atlanta, as well as what you do in your career. It
Yes.
sounds very exciting. Congratulations
Thank you.
on making that successful transition.
Yes, yes, yes.
I always say that mentors really are key. I always say just doing your job isn't going to get you anywhere in technology.
Well,
you really need to focus on expanding your network and increasing your visibility.
If you're not looking at changing or evaluating your skills every 2 to 3 years in this economy, you're in for a lot of trouble. And it's hard to do that when you don't have someone to help you evaluate that. Because again, there is no clear path, so you don't know.
Right.
Yeah, you don't know what you don't know. Yeah.
And you don't know what you don't know you don't know.
Exactly. And you don't know what you don't know that you don't know that you don't know.
All right. Well, this was fun, Kim. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
hanging out with us
Thank
and
you.
sharing
Thank
with
you
us.
for having
All
me
right.
here.
You're welcome.
All right.
All right.